pretty girl. We in the garden? Get one more day out in the garden and we get to go back to work tomorrow. Things are looking really good out here, honestly. Yeah, I've been home for about a week now. It almost just kills me to have to go back to work because I want to stay here. I want to stay here and work in my garden. Things are just really nice. But I think I'm gonna get started and plant a few seeds. We are going to replant the peanuts. You gonna help? Now, like I said, this was an experiment. He's sitting right in the middle of them. And I'm not sure. I dug one up a few days ago just to see if we had any activity. Oh, we do have activity. Would you look at that? Okay then. Yes, they are germinating. Huh. Never mind, let me put this little guy back in the ground. Looks like he's going this way. Like that. Green back. Yeah, they are germinating. Look, here's another one. Look at this one. Oh, but see? That broke off, but look. That's what I was seeing. They're rotting. See that? So, even though we have some germinating, I'm gonna go ahead and poke a few new ones in the ground. So we're gonna just drop them in the holes. Okay, so all you real gardeners that garden in the South that actually do know how to plant peanuts are probably screaming at me. Lost a cat. You find some shade? No! Look, I want to show you something. Found her. I thought she disappeared. Look at that. Some shade? She was looking for shade. She was laying behind planter boxes. Okay. Well, like I was saying, I'm sure we've got real gardeners that know what they're doing, planting peas or peanuts. I don't. I've never planted peanuts before. These are supposed to be able to be planted in my area. I am aware I should have done them in the house, but you guys know, driving a truck, starting plants in the house, obviously not going to work for me. We get too many of these little guys coming up, I'll pull up. We'll thin them out. But I couldn't get a smaller bag than that. So we have lots of peanuts. And the original ones are coming out. So let's put around the extras I threw in there, but we threw some extras in there. I think I just messed up. See, there's another rotten one. So they're not all coming up. If it's just been too wet or what, but I don't know if I planted them too deep. Hey Milo, did you find some shade? Was that what you were looking for when I lost you? Was? Not too bad out here in the shade. The sun's kind of warm, isn't it? Yeah. Girl. All right. So, this is where my little tomatoes are planted. I did a little scritching around in here because I just was sure that they had died. We do live next to a highway. They were over here. I'm not going to scratch around over there. But I did find a few germinating seeds. Now, they were out here while it was cold. They could be stunted. It's gonna be warm now. I don't really want a tomato to come up over here. It's gonna be warm now. So, just one more, there we go. So we're gonna put a few of these guys, a few new seeds in. We'll see what happens. The old seeds are over here, new seeds are on this side. So I did see the seeds start to come up, the old ones, when I was poking around in there the other day. So they may come up, finish coming up, they may not. If not, we've got fresh seeds. Those come up great. If they don't come up, it's kind of the same thing. That's okay. Now then, this cat. What do you think, Milo? So we put new peanuts in. We put some new tomatoes in. What we got left now is, I forgot my red ripper peas. They're coming up over here, but maybe aren't the prettiest in the world. They're really yellow. And again, I'm wondering if that's because I planted them when it was too cold for them. It couldn't hurt to put a few extras in. And it's the same thing, isn't that right? If they're too crowded. Okay, so these are the red ripper peas. They're really yellow. They're not real healthy looking. Everything else in this bed looks okay. The morning glories that I was worried about, because they were yellow this morning. Look, those have greened up. Grandpa Bishop beans, those look pretty decent. So I may be jumping the gun, but it's not like I'm here every day to go, yeah, I think we better go ahead and do this. I'm gonna throw a few extra red ripper pea seeds in. When I come home next time, we'll just weed out the unhealthy looking ones and keep the better looking ones. Okay, so weeds while I'm here. This is another one of those things. We're just not going to put in a lot of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I got 8 in my hand. The wet spot I kneeled in, that's okay. And we're gonna drop in some extra bean seeds just to make sure. This is one of those things that if I had to have been home all this week because of my truck, we would have just done, whatever came up, and oh well with the rest of it. But I'm home. So if I'm gonna be home, I'm gonna make a little more of an effort. But 2 more I want to put in here somewhere. I can probably get one right here. 1 more. Where shall we put this last one? How about right here? Okay. Woo, I got a muddy knee. I found a wet spot. We need mulch. Get a weed while we're standing right here. Alright. Hi. You're just gonna lay there in the shade, huh? You're just gonna hang out in the shade, Miss Cat? Milo's in the shade. Alright, let's have a sit. I'm just gonna have a sit for a minute, Milo. What do you think? We have We have a few sunflowers. I have this urge to stick a couple somewhere, but I don't know where. Everything's pretty full. What do you think? We could maybe throw, I don't know. It's awfully full. I could maybe put a couple of those dwarf sunflowers in somewhere. Oh, I know, at the end of the sunflower beds. I didn't plant anything right on the ends. These dwarf sunflowers that we got left. Sun gold dwarf sunflowers. You're just gonna lay right there, huh? Making use of the shade. Alright, let's go over here. I think on the very end of the sunflower bed right here, there's nothing planted. I think that we could put a few of these guys, maybe just a couple. Scrape away this mulch. This is my favorite gardening tool in the world. Bare bones. I bought it at my local nursery a couple years ago. It's a gardening knife. You can do just about anything you need to do with this thing. I love it. It's wonderful for pulling weeds. Let's see, we can scrape back this thick mulch. It's gotten wet, so when this mulch gets wet, this is alfalfa mulch. It's really hard to move. So let's make this a trench. I'm not sure how many of these I got left. These are sun gold dwarf sunflowers. We got them from Haas Tools. I do believe these were in the, I got 2 sets of sunflowers collections from Haas Tools. One of them was just their general, yeah, it saves enough for the other side. One of them was just their collection. The other one was Cog Hill. So Cog Hill Farms, I love watching them because they do what I'd like to be doing instead of driving a truck, to be honest. They're starting a flower farm this year. That's kind of exciting. I like watching it. Sprinkle a little bit of this alfalfa mulch on top of these seeds to help keep them moist. Will keep the majority of this mulch pulled back until they come up better. But I get a lot of gardening tips from those guys. I know they're in Georgia, we're in Kansas. So if I didn't, I have some gardening knowledge. Actually, I have quite a bit of gardening knowledge. But it's fun to watch people who really have gardening knowledge and doing stuff that I wish I was doing. So, go and do the other side now. What are you doing? Are you in the pea tunnel? Boy, that'll be a nice place for you to hide once the peas get over the top, aren't they? Isn't it? You hiding in the pea tunnel? She said it's not enough shade yet. Wait for those peas to get over the top. So let's do the same thing over here. Pull back. And I tell you what, this last year was the first year I couldn't find the mulch I wanted last year at the end of the year. So I bought several bags of this alfalfa mulch. And it works really well for keeping weeds out. It really is. I'm happy with it. I didn't see any at the garden store yet, but it may be one of those things they only have in the fall. And so it's also nitrogen rich, so it decomposes into the soil. And raises your nitrogen. And just use up the rest of these seeds. There's just enough to plant across this end. Okay, so that was all those. I have several of the big sunflowers left. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I just may save those for next year, because everything's looking pretty full now. What is it? We're not a gardening channel, but it is something we do when we're at home. And the new garden bed setup is brand new. I'm real excited about it. So far, so much happier with this than I was with our in-ground garden. So you guys, this is the first year, very first year of it. First year for planting it. Learned a lot of things along the way. Always done a garden. Even when I've been driving, I've always had a garden. Yeah, I don't get to harvest a lot of it, but we've always had one. I enjoy it. All right, Miss Milo. Hey there. Hey, you gonna look at me? Now you're just gonna have to come around. I'm done planting. I'm done planting the seeds now. You wanna just hang out here for a while? Yeah, you're just gonna hang out in the garden? Lay in there with the peas? Yeah. Pretty girl. You're a pretty girl, you know that? That is... I foresee cat hiding place in the garden, and that gets completely... And that stuff grows all the way over. Leaf hunter. Milo the leaf hunter. Is this what you were after? Hey, it is, it's a leaf. It's a dead dandelion leaf. We gotta finish up some other things. We're gonna be back on the road tomorrow. You guys all have a good day, and we'll see you out on the road.